Day 528 of doing a LeetCode problem every day until I get a job. All right, y'all, we're back again another day, another LeetCode problem where we're doing daily LeetCode problems. And today we have question number 2273, find resultant array after removing anagrams. The difficulty level is easy, so you already know we're going to keep the solution as simple and easy to understand as well. But before we get started, y'all, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. And if you need any new Apple AirPods, go on and check out that link in the description so you can get you some. Now let's see what the question says. You are given a zero-index string array words where words of I consist of lowercase English letters. In one operation, select any index I such that 0 is less than I and I is less than words.length and words of I minus 1 and words of I are anagrams and delete words of I from the words. Keep performing this operation as long as you can. Select an index that satisfies the conditions. Return words after performing all operations. It can be shown that selecting the indices for each operation in any arbitrary order will lead to the same result. An anagram is a word or phrase formed by rearranging the letters of a different word or phrase using all of the original letters exactly once. For example, the string DACB is an anagram of ABCD because they all use the same letters exactly once. So let's go ahead and take a look at these examples just to make sure that we are doing this problem correctly. So in example 1, we have our input words equals an array of strings ABBA, BABA, BBAA, CD, and CD. The output is an array of strings ABBA and CD. So let's take a look at this explanation so we can see how they got this output from this input. Boom. So the explanation says one of the ways we can obtain the resultant array is by using the following operations. So first, let's go through the operations. These are the operations we have to use. We have to select an index I such that 0 is less than I and I is less than words.length. And then words of I minus 1 and words of I need to be anagrams, and then we delete words of I. So what does that mean? So since words of 2 is BBAA and words of 1 is BABA, that means they're anagrams, and we choose index 2 and delete words of 2, right? So let's break that down one step further, right? So we select an index I. In this case, we're selecting 2, words of 2, so index 2. So we come 0, 1, 2. So we're looking at this right here, BBAA. That's the words of I that we chose, right? And that's 2, words of 2. Then we're going to look at words of I minus 1 and make sure words of I minus 1 and words of I are anagrams. So since we chose index 2 with BBAA, we need to check index 1 to make sure it's an anagram. So BABA is an anagram of BBAA, right? So then it says delete words of I from words. So now that we know that words of I fits, or words of 2 fits all of these requirements, we need to delete it. Boom. So hold on, let me bring this over here so y'all can get a better visual representation of what's going on. Boom. So we picked this one. Oh, sorry, we picked this one. This is words of 2. Let's delete it. Boom. Then now it says words are ABBA, BABA, CD, and CD. Let's make sure that's right. Boom, that's right. Then it says since words of 1 is BABA and words of 0 is ABBA, they're anagrams, we choose index 1 and delete words 1. So once again, we do the same thing. Now we're looking at index 1. Index 1 is BABA, so we're going to check index 1 minus index 1 minus 1, which is going to be index 0, and we're going to make sure that there are anagrams of each other. And yep, this is an anagram of this. They're both anagrams, so they fit the requirements, so we could delete this. Boom, let's delete it. Boom, and now we are left with this. Boom. Then it says now words is an array of strings A, B, B, A, and CD and CD. And then it says since words of 2 is equal to CD and words of 1 is equal to CD. So this is words of 2. This is words of 1. It says we choose index 2 and delete it. So once again, these two are anagrams, so we have to choose index 2 because if we choose index 1 and index 0, those are not anagrams. However, words of 2 and words of 1 are anagrams, so we delete words of 2. Boom. And now words are A, B, A, B, A, B, B, A, and C, D. And then we can no longer perform any operations. So the array of strings A, B, B, A, and C, D is our final answer. That's how we got that final answer right here. Boom, and that is our output. Boom. So let's take a look at example 2, where it's a little tricky, where there are not any anagrams, so we just return the whole array. So in example 2, we have our input words equals an array of strings A, B, C, D, and E. The output is an array of strings A, B, C, D, and E. Explanation says no two adjacent strings and words are anagrams of each other, so no operations are performed. So once again, since none of these strings are anagrams of each other, then we don't need to perform any operations, and we could just return the array as it is. So now that we understand the question, y'all, let's get into the fun part, the actual solution. Solution is not that difficult at all, so let's get into it. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create an empty array to store our result. So we're going to say declare variable. We're going to say var result colon. That's going to be an array of strings. Then we're going to set that equal to a blank array, just like that, to initialize it. Then we're going to iterate through each word in the input array. So each word in words by saying for word in words, we're going to open up the brackets. Then we're going to check two conditions. We're going to check if result is empty, meaning the first word, or always appended. Otherwise, we're going to compare the current word's sorted characters to the last word in result, which is also going to be sorted. If they are not anagrams, meaning the sorted letters differ, then we're going to append it. So we're going to say if result dot is empty, or two vertical lines, word dot sorted, put the parentheses, does not equal result dot last exclamation point dot sorted, and put the parentheses. Then we're going to open up the brackets, and we're going to say result dot append, open up the parentheses, and pass in word. Then all we need to do is return the filtered list of words where consecutive anagrams have been removed by coming right here outside of the for loop, and all we have to do is say return result. Boom, y'all. That should be all she wrote. Let's give it a run. Make sure it runs correctly. It's accepted, so let's go ahead and submit it. Make sure it's still accepted after we submit it. Let's see, and look at that, y'all. 4 milliseconds beats 73.33% of users. Not too bad at all, y'all. So with that being said, I hope y'all learned something today, and I hope to see y'all here tomorrow for another day, another LeetCode problem. See y'all then.